Yo, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mark, and today we're back with another review and reaction for Go for a Nakamura-Kun. This is episode 13, aka the series or season finale, I'm not sure. This feels like it could be a series season finale or a series finale. And we're not going to talk about last episode too much, just that it got really dark at the end there. But luckily with this episode it does turn around, kind of. We have a lot to talk about. But as always, you can check out my reaction to the newest episode, the season series or season finale, over on Patreon in the description down below. Definitely go check it out because I give way more thoughts over there, and it's almost an hour long, so you're getting a lot of content over there. But with that said, like and subscribe, and as always, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab your notebooks. Wait, no, I did it wrong. As always, if you're new here, strap in. If you've been here before, you know what to do. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab your notebooks, because surprisingly I did take some notes. And let's talk about the episode. So this episode starts out with Nakamura making it back home safe. Bro, I genuinely, there was a small part of me that thought this could take a very darker approach to it. Luckily they didn't. Kind of. They didn't really, but like it's weird. He made it back home safely, luckily, but he's quiet and depressed, and I still feel bad for him, bro. But I will say, at least he's processing it, kind of. It's a lot to do. But like, anyways, we're gonna move on, because he says goodbye or whatever when he leaves to go to school. And he's in class, as always. And of course, it's always in the classroom where stuff really goes poorly for him, man. Like, for example, Hirosei's girlfriend, Sakamoto, I think that's her name. I just call her Hirosei's girlfriend because we barely got any information on her. She waltzes in to see Hirosei, because of course she does. That makes sense. That's what she'd do because they're together and all that. But if she goes over, she talks to him. Meanwhile, Nakamura, he has to stand there, or sit there in his chair actually, and just take it like a man and just watch as what happens, unfortunately, bro. But he doesn't have to take it. He could get up and walk away, probably. Maybe. Actually, I don't know if he could just leave the classroom. Well, no. He could leave the classroom. If some random person from a different class can walk in there, he can walk out. So, like, technically, he doesn't have to just stand there, sit there, and watch that go on. But he does. And I wrote down, poor Nakamura, man. Because she can just waltz in there and see Hirosei, but Nakamura can't say anything because, like, it's that they're together and all that. So like, Nakamura, he's just an outsider. He can't really say anything, and it's not like they're being too like they're not doing PDA or anything like that. But anyways, fast forward to the later on in the episode, not later on that far in, but like to Nakamura leaving. He drops his pen because the girl, Sakamoto, she bumps into him, because of course she does. The pen falls, and I fully thought that she'd pick up the pen. She does. But I also thought that she would recognize the pen immediately and say something like, hey, this looks like the pen that Hirosei has. But no. Instead, she hands it back to him. She says it's cute. He says thanks. And then Hirosei is waiting for her. They walk home together, presumably walk home together, I don't let you know. Holding hands, which, damn, that's just the cherry on top, man. Of rubbing it in Nakamura's face. But luckily, I don't know if it's a consolation really, but Hirosei does say later to him, he acknowledges Nakamura's existence, so at least he's not absorbed. Like, that's... I was grasping at straws early on, trying to find a way to, like, work out for them, man. And I also wrote down, I still think Nakamura has a chance. And the reason I say that is, hear me out. So, what if he tried to break them up? I made this argument in the reaction, and I still stand by it. He's a high schooler, so he could be petty enough to do it. If he was anyone else, obviously he's Nakamura, he's not going to do it. But what he could do is be like, he could just try to like get in their way, annoy her enough that she leaves and doesn't come back or something. I don't know. I just really wanted everything to work out for Nakamura and Hirose, man. Oh, I should also mention the episode title is called "Even Then I Love You," and that's sweet. Kind of depressing depending on the context, but sweet. And but yeah, I still think Nakamura has a chance at this point in the episode. I did, and here to say, oh yeah, his girlfriend, while they're leaving, his girlfriend asks here to say about the pen. Says, did he where'd he get it? It's like his key or something like that. And here to say, he says his friend gave it to him, and that was nice. I wrote down it's nice to reaffirm that Nakamura, so that Nakamura doesn't forget, because like, and this is me over analyzing everything, but if with this like still like with him still reaffirming that they are friends, I think even if it's subconsciously, it's good for both of them to remember that they have each other still, that they're still connected, they still have a friendship, and that he's not immediately being just dumped aside for Hiruse's girlfriend. Like, I think it's a good thing that they are like still talking like that, or at least Hirose is. And I also I still didn't give up on the whole Nakamura still has a chance part, because I then wrote down I hope Nakamura thinks he still has a chance. I hope he's not losing hope. And the reason I say that is because I wrote down that high school romances, stuff like that, they don't always last forever. Sure, the stereotypical high school sweethearts thing probably does happen relatively often. I don't know how often it happens in Japan compared to like say here in the States, or if it's different, but like it does happen, but it's over glamorized to think that it always happens in a lot of stuff that I've seen online. So realistically, I don't think they'll last that long. And so meanwhile, after that, Nakamura's riding his bike on his way home, and he's like, yo, I'm happy for him, I think. And then he says he'll support their relationship, and anyone who tries to break them apart, he'll beat to a pulp. And obviously he won't, but as I said in the reaction, it's the thought that counts. That he's like, yo, I'll beat them to a pulp, that's how much I care. But it's hard to say. Like, I don't blame him for this, but I also don't know. If I was in his shoes, I don't know if I'd be able to wholeheartedly support their relationship. Genuinely. It's just because, especially so soon after. I don't think so soon after I learned that they're dating, I don't know if I'd be able to so soon after say I support them. In the future, probably I probably would, but not so soon. But then next day or two, so at some point in a day or two, I'm guessing, Nakamura walks out. Technically, they're outside. He walks into their line of sight when Hirose and Sakamoto are having a conversation, and he's embarrassed that he interrupted something, so he goes to leave after he like takes the trash out or whatever. But then he's leaving to go away, but then Hirose comes in. He's like, "Hey, my girlfriend dumped me," which the way he just said it was funny. But also I wrote down, "Hell yeah." I'm glad. And Nakamura was surprised. And so, a lot of stuff I wrote down for this part. So apparently, and I'm not sure where she got this information from, but she called Hirose boring. What? How the fuck is he boring? I don't get it. I don't get how she could think that he's boring of all things. Like, boring. Hirose, are we thinking about the same person here? Hirose, the funny, nice guy. How is he boring? He likes music, and like he helps out. He enjoys a lot of different things. I don't have my other notebook on me right now, but like I wrote down, like we had an episode learning about Hirose. There was a lot of interesting stuff about him. I don't get it. I don't get how he's considered boring. That's stupid. I also wrote down, I'd kill for a friend like him. I probably would, to have a friend like him, man. That'd be cool. Anyways, moving on. Now he's having a little, almost like a heart-to-heart with Nakamura. And Hirose says that he didn't really know how to interact with her. He didn't know how to talk to her. And it was weird and stuff, like... And then he also says that he prefers a friend like Nakamura, which honestly, really sweet. And because he says he prefers a friend like Nakamura, because it's someone he can talk to about anything. And Nakamura asks him to walk home together, which hell yeah, man. He has a chance now, definitely. Goalpost wide open. There's no one guarding it. He can easily go for not Hirose's heart, bro. Like easily. He has a chance now. But they're walking home, and one of the reasons that Hirose went out with her, agreed to, is that he was glad, and this is kind of sad actually, glad that someone said they liked him. So he tried going out with her, but he never really got it. Which, damn man, that's sad. That he did it just because he was happy someone said they liked him. I hope that's not in like a self-deprecating or depressing way. But in like other people that said they liked him, just not in that way. I hope that's what he means by it, and not genuinely no one's ever said that they liked him before. Because I find that hard to believe, especially with Kochan. Like, Kochan, he's here to say number 2 supporter. Nakamura's number 1. But the point still stands. And Kochan's definitely more likely to say something out loud about how he likes Hirose than Nakamura is. So anyways. But then we get some sweet moments. Oh, also, Nakamura had earlier called Hirose charming, because after he had said that she called him boring. He's like, huh? How? You're so charming, and I agree. But then we get to some depressing stuff. Hirose thinks he's boring, but then he's like, oh, he was happy when Nakamura called him charming, which, hell yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad they were like that made him happy, man, that he got called charming. Because he's charming. He's not boring. He's funny, he's nice, he's a good friend. Like, yeah, man, she's missing out. She doesn't know. Like, he's the whole package. She doesn't know what she's missing out on, man. Having him as a friend. But anyways, moving on. Nakamura, as they're about to go their separate ways, Nakamura is like, or not go separate ways per se, but Nakamura is like, yo, you can talk to me about anything, anytime, anywhere. You can always talk to me. It's very motivational, very inspirational, very sweet. And so he's embarrassed after he says all that. Because that's like one of the first times he's really spoken out and said something so forward to Hirose. Because he doesn't say forward stuff like that often, but he did this time. And so Nakamura runs away, because fair enough. And he questions if he really should have said that, but he's stopped by Hirose. And boys, we've made it. Hirose asks for Nakamura's line ID. Now, as far as I know, a line ID is like, I'm guessing it's like a social media platform, line, right? It's like a texting platform. It's like Facebook Messenger, maybe not Facebook Messenger, maybe. I don't know. All I know is that that's how like all the kids and all the people like communicate in Japan. Apparently, is online or something, or at least that's how a lot of them do it. Assuming this is a real thing. I assume it's a real thing because I've heard line ID be used in other anime and stuff before. So like, I'm assuming it's a real thing, bro. I really hope it is. But I'm guessing it's like social media, like a texting platform, like WhatsApp or something. I don't know. But like, I may not know exactly what it is, but I knew it's a big deal, and so I was like, hell yeah, bro. And so Nakamura, he's stoked, bro. I was so happy because like Nakamura, this is like a big deal for him, man. And so Nakamura gets home. He's happy, laying on his bed, looking up at the phone. So happy, and I'm so happy for him, man. It's so adorable. And then, I kid you not, the same night, Hirose asks if Nakamura wants to catch a movie tomorrow because his sister got tickets. And Nakamura, of course, said okay. He also procrastinated what to say. He was going to say, like, oh, yeah, I'd love to. I've been wanting to see that movie for a while. But then he erased that. Then he's like, thanks for the invitation. I would like to go. But then he erased that too because it's too formal. Then he settled on a little sticker that just said okay. And that's good enough, I think, for Hirose especially. He doesn't seem like someone who'd, like, get hung up on, like, being super polite and stuff like that. Like, between friends and stuff. And so Nakamura was preparing for that, but before that, I had paused and I was like, man, all it took to get a movie date, or a date in general, was exchanging line IDs. They could have skipped so many steps if Nakamura had just asked for his line ID in the beginning, man. Like, I think, that's what I think. I genuinely think we would not have gone on so many tumultuous adventures if they had just got exchanged IDs in the first place, man. And I know technically it's not a date. Tomato, it depends on. As long as you don't go into it expecting it to be a date, it's okay to think about it possibly being a date. Like, there's a difference between going in there with the expectation of it being a date and then going in there with the expectation of, hey, this could in another timeline be a date, or maybe it could turn into a date. But don't go in there with expectations. That's how you fail. And that never turns out well for most people. But it's okay to think about it as a date. And that's what Nakamura basically does. Didn't say it, obviously. But he's definitely thinking it. And so he has to figure out what to wear and stuff. And they eventually, next day rolls around. Oh, also, his octopus friend, Ichan, he's just chilling, watching Nakamura flounder around. And that's funny. I really like Ichan, man. I'm glad he's a recurring character. So next day they arrive at the Nakamura arrives at 12:40 at 11:40, 10:45. They were gonna meet at 11. He arrives at 10:45 on the dot, might I add, or probably before that, actually, being honest here. And he's dressed in a jacket, I think, some jeans, regular casual stuff. And so he's wondering if he got there too early, but then Hirose calls him. He answers. He's like, hey, are you there? And he's like, yeah, I'm at the entrance. And eventually, Hirose shows up. And he looks dressed. He's dressed in the way that, like, my first genuine thought was Skater Boy. He looked like a run-of-the-mill, legitimately, like, pulled from, like, a magazine, Skater Boy. And I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but he does. And it was funny. But they were, they went to do the movie. Well, first they got drinks, of course, because you can't have a movie without drinks, bro. You definitely can't. I've never gone to a movie theater to see a movie without drinks, ever, never. And I've been to quite a few movies in my time. How do you go to? Here's a real question: how do you go to a movie theater and not get a drink? Obviously, if you can afford it, yes. But obviously, there might be some cases where you can only afford the movie ticket, and so you go for that, and you can't get a drink. But if you can, but don't get a drink, why not? I don't understand it. Genuinely, I want to know why. Like, because there's water too. Like, if you don't go for any kind of drink at all, I don't get it. Anyways, they go through the movie, and it's nice. It's nice to watch them be all nice and friendly and stuff while the movie. They leave, and the movie was really sad and sweet and stuff. So they spend time at a a diner, talking about the movie, the scenes and stuff. And one scene they actually specifically mentioned was a first friend scene. And I know I may not know the exact scene, but I know the sentiment that goes into that kind of scene and what kind of scene it usually is. And I agree. They're very sweet, man. Those kind of scenes, man. The first friends and all that. And so Nakamura was, of course, happy that they went together. And Hirose, Hirose says that he doesn't think he would go to the movie with anyone else, want to go to the movie with anyone else. And when Nakamura asks why, Hirose is like, because it just it's not usually my genre, but then he felt like he could go to it with Nakamura. And that speaks to a level of comfortability. Because, like, especially because, like, think about it this way, taking out the romance side of things, this speaks to a level of comfortability that Hirose has with Nakamura. Because, like, this isn't Hirose's normal genre. And yet, he's willing, he doesn't mind going to this movie that's not his genre at all. And with of all the people that he could have chosen, he chose Nakamura. That's a level of comfortability and trust, I'd say. Because he could have chosen one of his other friends, but at the same time, he just like instinctually knew Nakamura was the one to go with. Like that's nice. That's just a level of like connection that is really nice to see. And Nakamura, at some point after this, pretty soon after this, pretty sure, Nakamura wants Hirose to be happy, but he doesn't think he can make him happy. And the only question I have is why? Because clearly, Hirose was happy. He was smiling. They were having fun. They went to a park and all that too. And like it was just really nice. And I'm so happy for them. I don't get how Nakamura thinks that he can't make Hirose happy. I don't get it. Meanwhile, I need a light. Unfortunately, I wrote on the back of a this, but some of it I can't see. So I had to write with a pencil. My pen kept dying. Each pen I used, it would start to die. And so I had to be like, yo, okay, this pen works. Nope. This pencil, okay, this pencil works. Okay. I gotta hold this at angle. There we go. Okay, so Nakamura, at some point, I don't remember the exact timestamp or anything like that, but at some point after all this, Nakamura asks himself if being friends with Hirose is enough. And I had a thought that I think that kind of question heavily depends on if the cost of that is sacrificing your happiness. Like, if he doesn't think he can go any further, then sure, fair enough. Then that's good enough for him. But if he's limiting himself or like hindering himself at a preconceived notion that he might not be enough for Hirose, then I don't think it's enough to just be friends. I think he should take his chance. That's what I think. But yeah, I think it depends on if you are sacrificing your happiness and if you are fine with that. Of course, at the end of the day, it depends. If you're fine with it, sure, no one can actually stop you. But again, I think it definitely depends. Meanwhile, at some point they're sitting down in on a bench, and Hirose's falling asleep, bro. Which fair enough, man. I could fall asleep just about anywhere. Just really depends. But Hirose asks Nakamura what is charming about him, and I kid you not, Nakamura basically has a breakdown, thinking about all the things that are charming about him, and so he ends up just yelling out everything. And fair enough, man. As I said earlier, Hirose is the full package. Like, Sakamoto girl, she's missing out on having a friend like Hirose, man. But Nakamura says everything. And Hirose says that Nakamura is really nice, which yeah, he is a nice man. Meanwhile, then, after all that said and done, he also apologizes for asking Nakamura such a tough question, which fair enough. Like, Hirose's so considerate too, man. It's just so nice. And we also get to see something cool. Hirose got Nakamura a cute octopus keychain, which is nice. Like, it was adorable, bro. Well, it'd make it better if Hirose had gotten himself one too. Said they'd be matching, but baby steps, man. Baby steps. We already got the pen. The keychains are next. Keychains are more... I wager matching keychains might be more forward than matching pens. Because keychains are usually something that you hit hook on, like, your bag, your backpack, you put your keys on it. Like, I imagine it'd probably be more forward, more romantic than matching pens. Although the matching pens could be more of a like a private matching between the two sort of thing. Like it really just depends. But yeah, that's all sweet and all that. And Nakamura's happy, of course, he loves it. But Hirose was worried they didn't like it because Nakamura didn't say anything, and that's a problem that Nakamura definitely does still struggle with, is communication. Like, he can think about what he wants to say, but then when he goes to say it, it might not always work out well, unfortunately. And that's something that Nakamura can definitely work on with time. But then also Nakamura says that he still loves Hirose, and that's like the least surprising thing, bro. Like, that's like looking at the sky and saying, oh hey, it's blue, because it's blue. Like, Nakamura, obviously he still loves Hirose, man. If he didn't, I would be more surprised than anything else. And so that their little like date technically ends nicely. And so moving on to the first years, their first year ends, and so now it's like summer break or whatever. We get to see Otogiri Sensei again, which is awesome. I'm happy for that. And he's like, yo, good luck next year. And that's all he says, bro. Which valid. And so now, the rest of the episode, really, the rest of it is spent Nakamura pondering. He gets all philosophical, pondering about, it's a new year. Don't know if we're all going to be in the same schools or even in the same classes or stuff like that. And while this is all going on, we're also like getting stuff going on through this monologue. Like, we're getting like Ko-chan, he shows up, but by the time he shows up, Hirose is already gone. And what I can't speak. What was cool was that also Hirose and Oda, the other friend in drama club, theater club, glasses, Hirose's friend, Oda, right? Owa, not Oga, no, Oda. Doesn't matter. Point is, they walk and leave the school with Nakamura, which is cool. Like, I'm glad Nakamura's being included in their friendship and all that, man. It's nice. And so, but yeah, Nakamura's pondering everything, and then he even wonders how long he'll get to spend with Hirose, and he doesn't even know if they'll be in the same classroom. But then he says, despite everything, no matter what, he'll always be passionately in love with Hirose. And that right there is sweet, man. Kinda. Okay, it's sweet, but I have thoughts. Meanwhile, very, very end of the season, end of the show, end of the episode, there after the credits roll twice actually. There's Nakamura. He rides up on his bike. It's a new school year, and he looks up to like the board because apparently, I guess I don't know if it's like a Japan specific thing, but like there's like a list of all the names of all the classes that are together and all that. I think that's pretty cool. But he looks up and he's like, and he doesn't smile or anything, but he doesn't stop frowning. So there's like a 50-50 that he's in the same class as Hirose. But what does matter is that he's passionate, he'll still be in love with Hirose. But at the same time, there's my thoughts on this ending is it's tough. I'm glad we didn't get a banana fish ending or a Stars Align ending, which is for Stars Align to say it didn't get an ending. Rip that show, man. It's such a good show. Unrelated to this, but highly recommend you check it out. It's very dramatic, very emotional, bro. It's really good. But it didn't get a banana fish or Stars Align ending, which honestly, better than nothing. But I think the problem I have really is it feels so bittersweet after everything that went on. Everything that Nakamura's been through, experienced, and said. It feels so like up in the air, like it's left up for interpretation almost that they end up together. Because I don't know if we're going to get a season 2 or if this is actually the season finale. But like, oof, I don't know, man. It feels bittersweet. It's sweet, but it also just feels bitter. Because like, as I just said, it's like Did they get together? Did they not? Do we have to use our imaginations? I'm not against leaving stuff up to interpretation. Like a good example of that is up for interpretation, unrelated to this show, but My Hero Academia. Contentious. If you're aware of what's going on with that show, it's contentious, I know, but My Hero Academia has a ending, even with an extra chapter, that is left up for interpretation. But everyone seems to think it's not. Even after the author himself says that it's up for interpretation. It's so annoying. Because, like, tangent, I'm going to go on a tangent. No, if anyone's here, hell yeah, I guess that we're 30 more minutes in. But, little tangent real quick on interpretation and romance. In My Hero Academia, supposedly, if we're to believe what the vast majority of the straight people think, and it really is mainly them, the vast majority of them think, they think that because Deku, Izuku Midoriya, and Uraraka dabbed each other up, that they're suddenly together. They said one thing to each other, one or two things, and that's it. And like, it's done deal. They're together. It's so frustrating, bro. And the thing is, I don't engage online with My Hero Academia shippers anymore, or even in general, really. My Hero Academia, at least the hetero strippers, shippers, not strippers. At least with the hetero shippers, but the reason is, I advocated for going by the author's words in an interview that the ending is up for interpretation, but everyone else seems to think interpretation. Oh well, that he's not actually saying it because he can't, sort of thing. But like, I don't think that's the case. For one, because he's all the way in Japan, and he really shouldn't care what a lot of Western people think. But also at the same time, like, he's done with the story. It doesn't really matter if he left it up for interpretation or not. But at the same time, like, it's so annoying, man. It's just annoying, man. Like, I don't hate when it's left up for interpretation, especially when it comes to like romance and stuff or implied. I hate when it's supposed to be left up for interpretation or implied, but then for some strange reason, everyone sort of like a cult mentality agrees, or decides, I should say, that it's not up for interpretation. It's just so stupid to me. And I don't even ship Izuku and Bakugo at all. Like, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I've read some really good fanfiction with those two. Obviously, it's good out there. But I don't even I didn't ship it. I shipped Deku with a wall sooner than I would ship him with pretty much anyone else, man. He has more chemistry with most walls, and with obviously most of the male characters. But that's an obvious because of shonen. The point is, like, I hate when stuff's left for interpretation. I don't know how I feel about this one seemingly being left up to interpretation or implied. But what I do know is that I did enjoy this episode, this finale, for whether it's a season or a series. I don't know yet. But I am going to wrap it up here. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below about everything that I've said. And yeah, I have nothing else to say. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, hype the video. Thank you so much for sticking with me for this journey of Go for a Nakamura-Kun. I know we started out with full reactions on the channel to review style stuff now, but I appreciate you sticking with me, man. It was a lot of fun. And of course, as always, any BLs that air, I will be reacting to them or reviewing them depending on how it goes. And you can always keep up to date with everything that's going on over on my Annie list, which is in the description down below. And my Patreon, I also usually will post what I'm going to be covering at some point when the season comes around. So in the next week or two, I'm probably going to post a video over on Patreon talking about it, so you can go check it out there if you want to know what I'm covering. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Check out the Patreon down below for the reaction, of course, but everything else. And yeah, until next time, my name is Mark. Never stop being yourself. Stay safe out there, and I will see all you incredible people in the very next video.